This presentation is on the film Ferris Bueller's Day Off. In the film, Ferris Bueller is a happy-go-lucky guy, but his best friend Cameron Fry evidently suffers from major depression. Major depression is the most common type of depressive disorder, characterized by periods of downcast mood, feelings of worthlessness, and loss of interest in pleasurable activities. Some of the very common symptoms of depression that are visibly apparent are loss of interest, difficulty making decisions, suicidal attempts or thoughts, negative mood, fatigue, and feelings of helplessness. An environmental factor in what may have caused Cameron's depression was his home life. The movie continuously portrays the theme that Cameron's father gets incredibly angry with Cameron, and instead is very protective of his materialistic endeavors, such as his refurbished Ferrari. Repeatedly, the father is brought up in conversation when Cameron mentions how angry his father is going to be at him for every single thing he does, including simply touching the car. Cameron has terrible anxiety through all of these adventures, and it's hard for him to enjoy things as much as Ferris is. Thus being said, Cameron very often alienates himself. He is first shown lying in his bed, even during school hours. Ferris Bueller pushes him to get out of the house, but that is obviously difficult for Cameron, as he sits in his car for a few minutes and talks out loud to himself, not being able to decide whether it's a good idea to leave or not. He goes back and forth continuously, as this shows his indecisive personality. In the art museum scene, it is said when Cameron stares into the face of Georges Seurat's painting, A Sunday Afternoon on the Island of La Grande Jatte, the camera switches between shots of Cameron's face and close-ups on the girl holding her mother's hand. The close-up shows the girl's face is just a mess of dots. This is a metaphor for the mess inside of Cameron's head as he feels he has fallen apart, but his parent next to him does not try to comfort him. One of the most profound scenes portraying the intensity of Cameron's emotional state was when Cameron Ferris and his girlfriend Sloane were at the pool. Cameron was so nervous about his father finding out what he did all day that Cameron sat in a chair with no response to the outside world or what anyone was saying. He was almost like a frozen, blank statue. In the scene, he slowly falls into the water with no warning. Ferris and Sloane were suddenly in shock, and Ferris panicked once he realized his friend had no intentions of rising back up to the surface, so he dived in and saved his life.
Cameron? Are you okay? Cameron, cut that out!
I think Cameron might have blown a microchip or two. He's always been a little keyed up. All I wanted to do was give him a good day. You feeling any better, Cameron? Maybe he's really sick. Maybe he isn't just torturing himself.
Put up with everything. My old man pushes me around. I never say anything. Well, he's not the problem. I'm the problem. I gotta take a stand. I gotta take a stand against him.
The depression portrayed in this film was entirely accurate. Everybody goes through depression differently, but Cameron suffered in a way many common people relate to on a daily basis. He suffered from depression with anxiety, stress, a feeling of not being loved, indecisiveness, and having a hard time coping with any issues he came across. He would space out at times and be very distant, as many people with depression have a hard time keeping in check with the world around them, while there are very many internal issues going on in their mind. Cameron needed help, and Ferris saw that and sought to help him, because without that pressure, Cameron would never go out and live his life. Cameron had it bad, and Ferris Bueller's Day Off accurately showed the world what it's like to really be depressed.